First of all, thanks everybody for being here. Hey, David, how you doing? Old Dominion is a good basketball team. I'll start by saying that. Obviously, they're up top in our league for a reason. They're 7-1 now, and a good team. The two areas that they dominate in every night are rebounding and basketball, and they're stingy defensively. For us, I thought, we contributed a lot to that. We ended up shooting 55% for the game, which is as good as we've shot in a while offensively with our redacted lineup. We hadn't shot the ball that well. We shot it well tonight. Murph had a lot to do with that. But we were pretty efficient offensively. But the thing that we do, scored a number of points off our turnovers. I think 22 points off our turnovers, which has been a bugaboo for us for, the last 3 or 4 games. And then the second shots in the second half. Those are the two areas that really separated us from them. Their offensive rebounds and the points they scored off second shots, and then our turnovers that led to their points as well. Some of those are indefensible when you're turning the basketball over. You can't get back in transition off some of those, and we did a bad job of that. We tried to control tempo a little bit more. Obviously, without Andrian in our lineup, it affects us offensively. We just don't have as many weapons, without him in there. And we didn't get much for our post players tonight. Our post players gave us little to nothing out there tonight, and you need them to compete against a team like Old Dominion because they're so physical on the inside. But this is not going to take my joy. Losing is not going to take my joy because I love what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy being around these kids every day. Our whole staff does. They're working as hard as they can. We just got to find a way to continue to get better. And it's Coaches versus Cancer Week, and it always tends to bring things back into perspective for you as you meet and greet folks who've dealt with this disease and the things we're dealing with right now as a nation. As it relates to things like that. So, everything's in proper perspective. We're trying to win basketball games. That's our mission. I think the sun will shine on this team here before too long because they are working hard enough to deserve that. And, as we move on into February here, I'm excited to see what they can become. It did, David. We got 3 of our post guys had 3 fouls in the first half. So we're sort of debating how we start the second half with what lineup, and we ended up going a little bit smaller so we didn't get some of our bigger guys, and ended up getting cheap fouls once they got back in there. And we ended up having to play a smaller lineup, and it told on us on the glass some. But I do think we probably wore down a little bit. But once again, Bryant Thomas played more minutes than he's played all season. He played 24 minutes tonight. That's the most he's played all season. But I was happy with the way he competed. He showed me some stuff tonight that we were excited about. Really happy with the way I thought Bryant competed better than anybody we had inside. He earned himself, more opportunities. So the other guys, the starters, got some fouls that got them in trouble. And as you said, we played a smaller lineup. They ended up wearing us down on the glass. And Brandon Stith almost out-rebounded us by himself. He's a monster rebounder. Averages about 7 a game anyway. But tonight was a night we've come to expect from Stith. He really rebounds the ball well, and we just didn't answer it.
Yeah, definitely. First one felt good, and second one felt good, so I just kept it going. They were feeling good coming out of my hand, and taking shots within the offense, running our plays, and I was getting open looks. Not really. I feel like our plays definitely work, and I feel like at times when I was open, shoot it. JD's really good with the ball in his hand. Austin Juke was really good coming off screens as well, and our posts are good. So just run our offense, and things will open up. Definitely. I've been in the gym a lot more recently, working on my shot. I noticed I haven't been shooting the ball as well as I have in the beginning of the year, so I've been in the gym with a lot of the managers and coaches later after practice at night. But I'm still confident in my shot, whether it goes in or not. Just got to think the next one goes in.
It's all relative, too, because nobody works harder than Ryan does. He really works hard at his game, and tonight was a reflection of that. We've seen a lot of that in practice. We see it. We've wanted to move a lot of our games to 3:30 because of the way he shoots the ball at 3:30 in practice. And unfortunately, we play at 7, and sometimes he didn't show up at 7. Tonight he showed up. We told him the game was at 3:30 tonight and tricked him. We set all the clocks to 3:30 tonight, and he came out with practice-type confidence. But he shot the ball with, and Ryan's got a decent amount of inner swag about him that he feels like everyone's going in, and his teammates do too. So we got utmost confidence in him. I think the guys did a good job finding him tonight. We had a conference high 13 assists tonight, which is something for us. A team that averages about 6 or 7. That's not much to be said, but tonight we had that. John did a good job finding him off the screens, and he raised up and shot it with confidence tonight. And that's what we grow to expect from Murph from seeing him in practice. That's the first thing we remind, and this is the first night I would say we've probably been manhandled. It really was. If you look from a rebounding standpoint, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. A lot of that comes because we missed a lot of shots, but we rebound the ball offensively pretty well. But this is the first night I felt like we really got physically manhandled. Like that Stith and Porter both did that, and they were letting those guys play physically, and we just didn't answer it. We answered it with fouling instead of physicality. And there's a big difference there. We tried to push and got ourselves in foul trouble as opposed to, boxing out and doing the things we needed to do. Sometimes you overhelp and gives them opportunities to rebound the ball offensively too, and I thought we did that some tonight. We might have overhelped a little bit with our post players. And we let them get a few deep touches that we can't do. So to answer your question, I think they've got to be more physical than they were tonight, but I think it's the first time we really got manhandled. And we mentioned that in the locker room. It's the first thing we talked about in the locker room tonight was how we got handled in the paint tonight.